Hi, you guys. I wanted to come tell you about a dream I had and the Most High gave me early this morning. I wonder if any of you guys might have an interpretation of what you think. What I remember of the dream is this. I think I was eating something like some strawberries or grapes or something like that, but what I remember was I was in like a hotel room or a hostel room, and I walked out and I started walking down the hallway, and I saw a lot of like hotel doors or hostel doors that were closed. And as I kept walking down the hallway towards the exit, there was a Caucasian Gentile that came out of his room. I heard him walking behind me, and I turned around and looked to see who it was, and he was blonde-haired, maybe blue-eyed, I'm not sure, but he was blonde-haired. And I turned back toward my direction, and I kept walking. And suddenly I heard a Gentile woman come out, and she said to him, she called him by a name. It was like Brad Jensen or something like that. She called him a specific name, and she was complaining because she said he left her room door unlocked, and she didn't want just anybody walking in there. So I turned back around and walked on out, and him and her were talking, and they went back into one of those red hostel doors or hotel doors, and I left. When I got outside, there was a white pit bull. He was like an adult pit bull, and he looked at me, and he came over towards me. And normally I wouldn't deal with other people's dogs that I don't know because they might attack. You don't know what dogs are up to. But he came towards me, and when he came to me, he turned into a puppy that looked similar to this photo. He was a white pit bull that was a puppy. And I started petting him and playing with him, and I decided to keep walking and going on my way. And as I was walking away, the dog, the white pit bull, barked and said, "Thank you." So I turned around, and I was like, wow, the dog just talked. And I turned back around and kept on walking to wherever I was going. Then I heard the dog bark again and say, "Thank you." So I turned around, and now the white pit bull had turned into a black pit bull. And he was, how a pit bull looks when they're about a year old or almost a year. They're still puppies, but they're a little bit bigger. That looks similar to this, except he was all black. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but I was like, "You're welcome." I didn't say it, and I turned around and I kept on walking, and then I woke up. Now, I probably had 2 or 3 dreams last night. But that dream I remember in specific. I couldn't go back to sleep until I send a text to myself about this dream. I'm unsure right now what the dream means. I think that the dogs stand for nations. That's what I think right now. Like the original dog was a white pit bull, and he was a large dog, and then he suddenly turned into a puppy, and then that white puppy turned into a black puppy. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think the dogs represent nations. I don't know what the Gentiles represent, but it seemed like they were on quarantine, now that I'm thinking of it, because they weren't, they went back in their room. It's like they weren't allowed to come outside, but I was able to go outside and go on about my business. So if you guys have any interpretations or anything, please let me know. I'm curious to know what you guys think.